Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Tell me you're a cringe, jealous loser without telling me that you're a cringe, jealous loser. It's just such a lovely feeling seeing all of these legacy media hacks panic and cope as the inevitable demise, the inevitable collapse of the mainstream media comes closer and closer. I mean, at some point, the prophecy will be fulfilled. A corrupt, diseased organism can only exist for so long. I mean, think about it. If the body is sick, if there's a sickness, either white blood cells are going to enter and the body will be remedied, or you reach the point of no return, it's too far gone, and the whole system collapses. Well, we're too far gone. When it comes to the mainstream media, when it comes to these corrupt news establishments, these fake news establishments, they're too far gone. There's no fixing this system. And instead, we're seeing innovation, a different system, independent sources who aren't beholden to corporate advertising platforms and globalist big money investment fund interests. That's what's currently happening. Tucker is now on Twitter, and the media establishment reaction has to be one of the most pathetic displays of jealousy and rage that I have ever seen. Starring none other than Mark Dice's favorite character, Little Brian Stelter, Little Bri Stelter as we like to call him, or as I like to call him. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. I just want to delve into this tweet. Let's delve into the mind of Brian Stelter. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so if you guys aren't aware, Tucker Carlson is back. He's back on Twitter doing an independently ran show. He's completely breaking the mold, breaking the internet. He posted his first show titled simply Episode 1, Tucker on Twitter, and as I'm recording this video, 2 days after its release, it has 106 million views. Now that's not 106 million playbacks, that's just impressions, but holy moly, ad companies, marketing agencies, companies paying for ads, pay based on impressions, so that's essentially 106 million eyeballs crossing paths with this small piece of content. In other words, probably I'd say maybe 150 times what your average CNN show is getting. Tucker Carlson breaks the mold, breaks the internet, he's as based as usual, talking about things that people in the legacy media would never dare to touch. They're too scared, they're too beholden to their puppet masters, and instead of celebrating this, because it's clearly a good thing, well, this is what you get from these clowns. Brian Stelter quote tweets Tucker's segment, "As of today," Tucker says, "we've come to Twitter. We're grateful to be here." His first video is a basic 10-minute monologue. Tucker on Twitter is how Tucker Carlson's video is branded. Notice his right hand in the wide shot. He's using a teleprompter controller to run the teleprompter himself. Brian Stelter thought that this was his big own. By the way, he got absolutely ratioed on that post. Look at pathetic Tucker using his right hand, as you can see in the photo, in his home studio to direct his own teleprompter. What a loser. Really? You know, it's actually pretty similar to the situation we covered a couple days ago with Rachel Maddow, where she responded like this to an independent journalist who had challenged her during a TrueCon event.
Coming to a Substack newsletter near you.
Coming to a Substack near you, as if that's a big takedown. Look at Tucker, from primetime at Fox to now controlling his own teleprompter. Then some leftist clowns in the comments section replying, keep in mind they're an extreme minority, "Nice catch on the teleprompter. Is Elon Musk really this cheap? Or is it that Tucker Carlson just doesn't deserve an actual logo?" First of all, Elon Musk isn't producing his show, it's independent, and that's kind of the whole point. You know, this isn't an own. It isn't an own that Tucker is in his own home studio doing his own thing. It's actually based. In fact, you might even argue it's mega based. The same thing that most of the very honest people that are independently covering things online are doing at home. This is your brain on a journalism degree. This is your brain when you've worked at CNN your whole life, latched to the teat of the establishment media. You view that as a bad thing. The comments section was just glorious. Take a look at some of these responses. Just think, Brian, this could have been you months ago. Are you going to just tweet about it? Or are you going to be proactive and give it a go yourself? What would Mark Dice want you to do? Tucker showed you how easy it is. You can do it too. Entertain us. Notice you're just sitting home, tweeting about him. In your right hand is probably a cupcake. It seems like there might be a hint of envy regarding the degree of autonomy that he enjoys compared to the amount of personal freedom that you've relinquished for the sake of conformity. This drips jealousy. On a shoestring, Tucker got over 25 million views in just a few hours hours, and the evening isn't even over on the West Coast yet. The ultimate snarky comment from a wannabe 17-year-old girl who didn't get to go to prom with the quarterback, or even one of the linemen. Hell, the kicker wouldn't even return a call. You mean to tell me that he's doing the job of 5 people by himself? The audacity. Oh, of course, as we know, you cannot be trusted unless you work in a corporate studio with your speech being controlled by editors and writers, but of course, even beyond that, sponsors and major corporations. Brian Stelter's little sly remark of Tucker Carlson, of course, ended up backfiring on him, and the entire comment section completely roasted the guy. It's nothing but pure projection. Brian is jealous. He's jealous that Tucker Carlson has an actual fan base. Not just people who happen to be watching CNN, tuning into Brian Stelter because they have nothing better to do, and the rest of the audience is CNN just playing at an airport or in an old folks' home. These corporate media hacks are losing their minds at the idea that someone like Tucker can simply show up on Twitter and get more views in an evening than they get all month. It's the power of this new world of media. I like to call it the democratization of media. And I've called the firing of Tucker Carlson as probably one of the best things to happen, to move us forward. Because now you see someone even like Tucker of his stature realizing that they could do it themselves. He doesn't need Fox News. Fox News needs him. And that's probably why Fox News is losing their mind. You're probably aware of this, but Tucker Carlson's former employer, Fox News, is now suing him, accusing him of breaching his contract. They're trying to shut down his show on Twitter. His lawyers are arguing that he has the right to do it because he's not actually working for another network. It's simply his First Amendment right, his right to be on social media and voice his own opinion, do his own vlog. But regardless of the legal argument, the optics says it all. Fox News wants to shut him down because they're scared, they're panicked. The mainstream media in general is panicked. CNN also just fired their new CEO, Chris Litch, after he failed to revive the network. All these mainstream outlets are in total panic mode, trying to do something to regain relevance, but it's not gonna work. You would have to restructure the whole damn thing. That's why this whole Chris Litch at CNN thing didn't end up working in the end. Simply getting rid of Chris Cuomo, Don Lemon, and Brian Stelter isn't going to cut it. You have to reimagine the entire thing, but it's not gonna happen because the rot is so extreme from within. CNN made the decision to simply do a town hall with Donald Trump, who's the frontrunner for the Republican Party ahead of the presidential election, and there was basically a mutiny from within, from the journalists working at CNN. How do you fix that without pretty much firing everyone and restructuring the whole company? The whole philosophy of how you run a network like CNN. It's too big a task, there's too much money involved, there's too many people with different interests pulling the ship in different directions, and eventually it's gonna crash and burn. It brings us right back to Tucker Carlson sitting in his studio with his right hand controlling the teleprompter. He doesn't have that problem. He's not being pulled in a million different directions, being told what to do, what to say, how to say it. He's simply opening the camera, writing his own script, controlling and reading his script, and doing his thing. He's one guy. He's honest. He's beholden to himself and the truth, his personal values. And what the mainstream media needs to learn is you can't compete with that. Just think about it. Not to pat myself on the back or to play myself up. I'm a small guy in this game, but my daily segments get way more views than CNN does. I've been averaging over 1 million views a day lately. I don't even show my face. I don't have the intention of being a public figure. I'm just a guy who has a mic, controls his own home studio setup, which is literally just a computer and a microphone, and talks to the people. I don't have a big production studio and a big staff, but I have a loyal audience and I have people coming back, and I'm creating a product that clearly people like because it's authentic, it's real, it's just a guy and his opinion, trying to find the truth, not trying to inject narratives or control narratives in such dishonest and despicable manner. CNN could never compete with that. And it's not just me, it's a whole freaking legion of me's. I have a graphic that I actually framed and put on my wall right next to me. I can find a new one right now. You just go to TransparencyTube or transparency.tube. Here's the graphic of what's categorized under partisan right. You see those big mainstream media bubbles. They're big and they're substantial, of course they are, but they're nothing in comparison to all the little guys. It's a legion of little guys. None of us come close to the big Fox News Goliath. The closest channel is Ben Shapiro's channel, then Matt Walsh and Steven Crowder, but all of us combined, we're an absolute behemoth. And if you tell me that that doesn't have the legacy media establishment shaking in their boots, well then you're simply lying. It's only a matter of time, and pretty soon, Tucker Carlson's probably going to show up on this board, and I have a feeling his little bubble is going to be the biggest of all. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. Of course, you know that we'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.